Okay, I have a confession to make. I hate exercising. And of course, I know it's important. I know I need to do it, but I don't like it. And I never have. Most days are super busy, and I'd rather do anything else. And I've tried all the usual tricks. Find an activity you love, find a workout buddy, go to a class, but none of it worked for me. I never found anything I loved. I always chose a workout buddy that would easily give up with me instead of making me stick with it. Sound familiar? In a class, that never worked for me. I didn't feel like it would matter if I went or not, because there would always be somebody else there and the instructor would keep going without me. But then I had some health issues, and I had to get serious about moving my body. What I learned might help you see why movement matters so much and how you can finally make it a habit too. Hey, this is Suzanne, and you're listening to the Daily 15. Today we're discussing exercise. We're going to talk about why it's necessary and ways to make it a part of your rhythm for a sustainable and healthy life. We'll even talk about how it helps lighten your mental load and reduce stress. Friend, take a deep breath and settle in. Are you ready? Here we go. Now, before I share how I made movement a part of my daily rhythm, let's look at what happens when we don't move our bodies enough. Sitting too much contributes to fatigue and brain fog. We need energy, focus, and clear thinking to get through our days. But most of us spend a large amount of time at a desk working, commuting to work and school pickups and running errands. And then there's caregiving and multitasking to get everything done at home. The research shows that the more we sit, the more likely we are to have increased tiredness, lower mood, and reduced brain function. And you can't get it all done when you feel like that. But here's the crazy thing. The less we move, the more exhaustion we feel. And that makes us avoid exercising. But moving your body is also the thing that can help improve your mental clarity and help you feel less tired. It's a crazy science circle. A body in motion stays in motion. And that momentum keeps you moving forward. Sometimes before we can change, though, we need to see the benefits. And then we need to decide if those benefits outweigh staying the same. Change is hard, and you want to know if the effort you put in really makes a difference. Exercise directly supports brain function. Moving your body causes increased blood flow and oxygen to the brain. And that additional oxygen helps you focus better, boosts your memory and mood, increases your ability to learn, and gives you mental clarity. Would any of those help you in your daily life? Regular physical activity has shown to improve cognitive function, and it actually can reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. What would it feel like to think clearly and have sharper focus? Movement doesn't just change your body, which, by the way, is another outstanding benefit. It actually changes your brain and how it works. Exercise also reduces stress hormones. And movement releases your stress, both physically and emotionally. Chronic stress, that living in constant fight or flight, fuels the brain fog, leaves you emotionally exhausted, you get poor sleep, and you have focus issues. Just a little physical activity helps regulate that cortisol and stimulates endorphins and other brain-supporting chemicals that are linked to improved mood and mental clarity. Movement helps your brain shift out of survival mode into peace and calm. I know that you can see how exercise can help you, but I can also see the questions. The questions like, how much exercise do I have to do to get these kind of results. Do I have to run for miles a day to see the changes? You don't need intense workouts to start seeing these benefits. It's easy to get into that all or nothing mentality and assume if you can't get in an hour, it doesn't count. And you may think that exercise has to be exhausting to make a difference. If this is how you're feeling right now, I have some great news. Even short bursts of movement, including walking, have been shown to improve attention, mood, and cognitive performance. You really can move for 15 minutes a day and feel the difference. And the best part? Those minutes add up. So if you do 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening, you've moved your body for 30 minutes. And 30 minutes is the baseline recommendation. Now, if you add a lunchtime walk, you're already up to 45 minutes in a day. And you barely broke a sweat. But before you panic, I always recommend that you start with just 15 minutes a day, especially if it's been a while since you've moved your body. The most important thing that you can do is simply get started. Not sure where to start? I get that. So maybe it's simply walking in your neighborhood or around your house. You might decide to try a weight training or yoga class. And maybe you do need a buddy to work out with. Now, my one note of caution on picking a workout buddy. Find someone who's motivated like you are. Someone that wants to make this a consistent daily habit. If you want to walk daily with your bestie, but you know that she'll help you come up with every excuse to skip your workouts, you might want to bypass her on this one. You want someone who will encourage you to keep going, especially on those cold mornings when you'd rather stay snuggled up inside. And give yourself lots of grace in this process. It won't be perfect the first few times. It might take you a while to get into some kind of consistent rhythm. And you might not be able to do 15 minutes right away. You might try a class that you hate. You might even go through a few workout buddies before you find the right one. Just don't give up. We're not trying to find the perfect plan. We're just discovering what works for you in your real life, because that's the best way for you to get consistent. But if you refuse to give up, I know that you can do this. I know that starting is easier said than done, which is why I thought that I should share my own exercise journey with you. Because I am proof that it works. And if I can do this, I know that you can too. So while I was figuring out my plan for moving my body, it took me several years. But the good news is each year it got a little easier and I could add a little more, but just a little at a time. Here's what I did. I met this amazing personal trainer. So I scheduled a meeting with her. Now listen, I showed up at this meeting and I thought, we'll see what happens. I didn't have great expectations that this would change anything for me. Thankfully, I was wrong. She started with a simple questionnaire and a physical fitness session. This was just a few key movements so that she could see what I could do. This wasn't a crazy intense workout session. She just needed to get a real idea of where I was, not where I actually said I was. So she could create a plan for me to get started. Here's the thing. She made me feel so comfortable right where I was. So it was easy for me to say yes and sign up. Now here's the reality. Every session, I still got up and didn't want to go. I didn't want to show up. And I didn't love how I felt during the workouts. They were tough. Mostly I loved when it was done, if I'm being honest. But here's the thing. Here I am, 8 years later, and I am still working out with that trainer. I still don't love these workouts. But I enjoy my time with my trainer because she's such an encouragement to me. She tailors each and every workout to how my body is feeling on that day. There's no shame. There's no pressure. There's just consistent, gentle pushing. She nudges me because she knows I can do better and I can do more. And so I show up at my workouts to prove that I can do a little bit more each time. And it's been really exciting to look back and see how far I've come. But it took 8 years. And the thing I love the most is how strong I feel now. It's not so much about the number on the scale or the number on the tag in my jeans. It's about taking care of the body that I have, making it run as efficiently as it can for me, and feeling strong and healthy for the long haul. That's the feeling that keeps me coming back each week. It's also the feeling that has prompted me just this year to start working out on my own in between our sessions. Now I'm starting to find a rhythm on my own outside of those sessions with my trainer. And I can look in the mirror and see my body has changed. Is it where I want it to be? Of course not. None of us are ever happy there. But more importantly, what has changed is how I see myself. I am capable. I can do more. And I can be strong. Now listen, I am not perfect, but I'm still committed to moving my body a little more each day. And that's where the real change starts to happen. And listen, I may never love these workouts. But more and more, my desire to change my health and live longer to be around for my family is what keeps me moving. And when it's something deep like that, when you change at that deep soul level, it makes it hard to sit on the couch. I'm not perfect. I still skip some days. And I don't feel like doing it, but I'm glad when it's done. I hope this encourages you and helps you to see that it is possible to make movement a part of your life rhythms. And you never know, you might just inspire someone else to come along on that journey with you. So what will you do with what you heard today? Will you stay stuck, feeling sluggish and fuzzy? Will you step out and take a walk today? Movement is important. And now you know how it can change your brain, reduce your stress, and lighten your load. You don't need an hour in the gym. You don't need a crazy intense workout. Simply walking can be the step that changes everything for you. And before you know it, you'll feel better, think more clearly, and have more energy. When you start with 15 minutes a day and make it a habit, you will change the way you see yourself. I promise. So are you ready to start your 15-minute movement reset? Pick one day this week and take a walk. And make sure to connect with me and let me know how it went. I'm over here cheering you on. Are you listening in today and feeling like the mental load is just too heavy to even think about adding exercise to your week? Maybe you just need a little reset to clear the brain fog and recharge your batteries. If that's you, I want you to check out the 15-minute brain reset. In this short audio, I walk you through step by step. And in 15 minutes, you'll feel clearer, have more focus, and you're ready to tackle the next challenge. Do you need a quick reset? Grab this free audio today. I'll link it in the show notes below. What if the key to you becoming consistent with a daily habit of moving your body is simply the right workout buddy? Share today's episode with a friend and get healthier together. Our lives aren't always easy, but together we're better. And together we're moving and we're creating margin for what matters most.